Feodor III Alexeyevich of Russia was the Tsar of all Russia between 1676 and 1682. Life. Feodor was born in Moscow, the eldest surviving son of Tsar Alexis and Maria Miloslavskaya. In 1676, at the age of 15, he succeeded his father on the throne. He was endowed with a fine intellect and a noble disposition. He had received an excellent education at the hands of Simeon Politsky, the most learned Slavonic monk of the day, knew Polish, and even possessed the unusual accomplishment of Latin, but, horribly disfigured and half-paralyzed by a mysterious disease supposed to be scurvy, he had been disabled from his birth. He spent most of his time with young nobles, Jazyakov and Lykarkov, who would later introduce the Russian court to Polish ceremonies, dress, and language. On the 28th of July 1680 he married a noblewoman, Agafia Simeonovna Groshevskaya, daughter of Simeon Feodorovich Groshevsky and wife Maria Ivanovna Zabrovskaya, and assumed the scepter. His native energy, the cripple, was not crushed by his terrible disabilities, and he soon showed that he was as thorough and devoted a reformer as a man incompetent to lead armies, and obliged to issue his orders from his litter, or his bedchamber, could possibly be. The atmosphere of the court ceased to be oppressive, the light of a new liberalism shone in the highest places, and the severity of the penal laws was considerably mitigated. He founded the Academy of Sciences in the Zykonospassky monastery, where everything not expressly forbidden by the Orthodox Church, including Slavonic, Greek, Latin and Polish, was to be taught by competent professors. The chief difference between the Fyodorian and the later Petrine reforms was that while the former were primarily, though not exclusively, for the benefit of the Church, the latter were primarily for the benefit of the state. The most notable reform of Fyodor III, however, was the abolition in 1682, at the suggestion of Vasily Galitzin, of the system of местничество, or place priority, which had paralyzed the whole civil and military administration of Muscovy for generations. Henceforth all appointments to the civil and military services were to be determined by merit and the will of the sovereign, while pedigree books were to be destroyed. Family. Fyodor's first consort, Agafia Simeonovna Groshevskaya, shared his progressive views. She was the first to advocate beard shaving. On the 11th of July 1681, the Tsaritsa gave birth to her son, Tsarevich Ilya Fyodorovich, the expected heir to the throne. Agafia died as a consequence of the childbirth 3 days later, on the 14th of July, and 7 days later, on the 21st of July. The 10-days-old Tsarevich also died. 7 months later, on the 24th of February 1682, Fyodor married a second time Marfa Apraxina, daughter of Matvey Vasilievich Apraxin and wife Domna Bogdanovna Lovchikova. Fyodor died 3 months after his new wedding, on the 7th of May, without surviving issue. The news of his death sparked the Moscow Uprising of 1682.